excited because today is finally the day we get to kick off this 21 basketball season. So I just had a couple questions for you. First of all, how are you feeling that it's finally starting today?
Super excited.
Super excited.
I didn't, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to happen. And here we are ready to go and just take one day at a time and ride out the season.
Yep, that's right. So obviously COVID is still going on and could affect us in the season. So what do you think that the biggest challenges will be throughout this season, trying to keep our kids on the court?
Well, the first one was just the shortened season. Just to get that in a short amount of time. But the kids have shown up with a great amount of excitement and energy in the gym and have listened and worked hard. I'm just concerned that we're going to lose some games just for a result of us, other teams, or whatever. We've had some things we can control and things that haven't been there. We haven't had to deal with before with that. But we told the boys last night, and I got to give credit for it, but he told them, like, we have to play every game like it's our last, because at any point the season could get shut down.
And that's a sad thing to think about because the build-up has finally gotten us to this point. But you're right. I mean, it could end tomorrow. We don't know.
And you don't want to think, oh, I should have done this last night because that was the last game. So.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the team. Tell us about the group of guys that you have this year and what you're kind of expecting to see out of them.
So the senior leaders are great. Not only verbally, but they come ready to practice every day, focused, energetic, and they lead by example. Both how they conduct themselves in and out of the classroom.
This is a preseason interview I did our school.
It's good
So we're playing
there. Young kids are warming up with them already. Shane was there all summer to work together and roll.
Hey, there's our cheerleaders, so we'll see how this goes.
Along and stepped up and looked pretty sharp.
Yeah, I was excited to see all the seniors actually play because I know that some of ours maybe didn't talk about it, but other seniors were like, this is worth putting in the effort for 4 or 5 weeks season.
Yep.
I was just happy to see that all of ours decided to come out and play for us.
And they've done well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so what will you consider to be a successful season? Like at the end of this, when you look back, what are you hoping to see from it?
Well, first of all, like part of it is like we get to play. So as long as we can make it through the whole season, and the kids can grow and learn. I told them to start out the first couple of games. My goal is really as much as it is limit your turnovers, limit your mistakes, play as hard as you can play, they'll take care of them, and then just show some improvement. The advantage that we get is it looks like we're going to have a conference tournament at the end, so we can kind of assess where we're at the beginning, and that as a group, we're better at the end, and the younger players get learn from the older ones, and we've improved as we get to that conference tournament.
Yeah, I was happy to see that we would actually have the conference tournament. Since they were about championship tonight, but there's no regional, no state series at all. So at least we will have that conference tournament. That's all.
Yeah, and it kind of ends it too, so it's something to work towards the whole season, be able to do your best when that time comes. I'm just excited and I'm ready to go. Like I didn't think it was going to happen, and here we are, and I'm just super stoked to get it rolling. And the kids, now that it's really going to happen, they are just so excited to get the opportunity.
Yeah, you can feel the excitement at school today. People coming in the doors.
And even like the kids who aren't playing or aren't cheating, it was just a different feel. Those kids and the attitudes that things that are perfect, with scholarship and getting to do some of those things that make come to school.
Good luck tonight. We're excited to see you guys play and kick off the season.
Thank you. We're ready.
And
A forward, number 51, Clayton Wright. And at center, number 40, Noah Brady. The Bearcats are coached by Brad Linder and William Blue. And now for your own Gallatin County Hawks. At guard, number 1, Derek Cramming. At guard, number 35, Heather Wilson. At forward, number 21, Pace Reister. At forward, number 14, Jackson Knott. And at center, number 34, Jerry Berger. The Hawks are coached by Chris Woodcock and Dr. Water.
Yeah, we're good to go. Welcome to Hawks basketball.
All right, guys, getting ready to tip off here in just a few seconds here. We have the Gallatin County Hawks and the Glacier Bearcats, opening game for both squads. As did in the junior high game last night, the away team will get the tip. There's no longer a jump ball, and they will alternate possessions, and that includes the overtime. So it's a little bit different than what they're doing. No more jumps this year. A little bit different.
It's kind of a weird COVID rule because they're up in each other's faces the whole game, but then they're not allowed to do the jump ball. So
It is very, very different. Hawks come out in the man-to-man defense here early on. Glacier looks like they're running a little bit of motion. Good steal by Jackson Knott. Crane bringing the ball up the timeline. Over to Gunner. Gunner squares up. Over to Case. Back to Crane. Crane pivots, goes left. 2 point. No good. Cleared out by Glacier. Headed back the other way. Hale sets the screen over to, looks like that'll be Carly. Backer for three, no good. Cleared by Knott, very good rebound by Knott. Up to Gunner, up to Crane. Hawks look to push the tempo early. Gunner swings, Case drives it. Out to Gunner, back to Crane, over to Gunner. Good find by Gunner, no good. Cleared out. Cleared out by Crane. Definitely some different stuff going on here, especially with that big layoff we're having here. You're seeing teams a little bit rusty here. The defense is definitely going to be key early. That's up and good by number 40, Noah Fraley, the junior from Glacier. Over to Gunner. Knott sets the screen. Gunner, looked like he's a square up a three right there. Pace drives it up and no good. So we're going to get an over the back on Knott. His first, team's first.
definitely a rusty start for both teams, but I think it's probably a little bit of nerves since
Definitely
first
some
game of the
nerves, and I tell you what, playing with the mask would be definitely a tough one.
Yes, that's what I was just telling Mariah, that practicing in a mask and playing in a mask can be two totally different things.
And it's just a different environment. These kids are used to on Friday night. The stands are full. It's just different. You can hear the shoes squeaking. You can hear the referees counting. It's just a little bit different element than they're used to. Good steal by Crane. Hawks bring up the defense. He drives over to Case. Case squares up a 15-footer. Over to Gunner. Gunner pump fakes. Go to the hole. Gets it. Nice bucket by Gunner. Gunner, a 3-year starter, really going to be relied on by the Hawks this year for some big minutes and big leadership. Crane with some big on-ball defense. Good defense by Hayes. We're going the other way here. Now he got a little bit overzealous and double dribbled. we're seeing, it's just weird, even with age groups, we're seeing a little bit of similarities in the junior high and the high school with just a little bit antsy, moving about a half step quicker than we're supposed to. Just some stuff to be expected when you don't play for a year. Looks like I've got a moving screen on 23. 51, rather. So,
We do not have that.
So in the high school format, I believe they're going to do a mask break at the end of 5. I think so, because that's how it works. I thought.
I think it's maybe every 4 minutes. They're getting a mask break. Doesn't look like any of the kids are really taking their mask off, but maybe they're just getting a drink of water and get back out there. Because as you said, it is a little different environment when you have. We had a couple of the kids wearing their cotton masks and probably getting hot and sweaty already. So
for what it's worth, I thought the junior high, that would have been something I was surprised the junior high association didn't implement, because you could definitely tell in the fourth quarter, you see some 8th graders out there kind of tugging at their mask. You could definitely tell that was coming into play. So today in your interview with Coach Utterback, what really stuck out to you about what his focus is on the team and stuff like that?
Well, if you know Coach Utterback very well, he's a very positive guy.
He is.
He is just focused on getting him as many games as possible, keeping him healthy, and trying to get them to learn as much as possible along the way, too. We have great senior leadership this year, a bunch of really good guys on and off the court. So he's hoping that the younger kids can learn a lot from him.
That definitely. And good senior leadership is like having a bunch of good apples and then putting some not ripe apples with them. They'll ripen. Suppose if you have bad senior leadership, you throw a rotten apple into a good bushel basket of apples, you will have 7 of them.
We got an update from the girls' game. It looks like it's 2-0. Kinsey Russell scoring in the first basket over in Hamilton County for the Lady Hawks.
Galatia really running a little bit different offense than we're used to. They used to be what I would call an air raid 3 team, shooting a lot of 3-point shots. And the new head coach here is trying to head back the other way. Good turnover. Galatia up for 2. Good pump fake. Kicks out at 12. 12 squares up a 3. No good.
Finally got one to fall there.
Fraley up and good.
Quite a slow start. 4-2 so far.
Faley and Hale from Galatia, 2 juniors, really doing the bulk of the action so far. Pace with the drive. Got a 2-point foul here. I think they got Hale. They did. They got Trevor Hale. I've got to mention that I really like those shoes that Case is sporting there.
No, I do too. He's trying to stand out, it looks like.
First shot up and no good. Substitution here. Jeremy, have you helped me out there? Who
is 12? Tate Duval.
Duval.
Subbing out 34, Jeremy Berger.
So I've got to be honest. I know these kids pretty well, but they put those masks on, and I just don't have. I coached the 6th grade boys that were playing 8th grade last night, and I'm still like, man, who are those kids?
And if you notice, I don't know if you know Noah Richardson, number 20 there. He got a nice fresh haircut last night.
Okay, so I'm noticing that. My fiance actually told me about that.
That's what one of the girls came in the office today and said, I could tell it's basketball season finally, because everybody's got a haircut.
Turnover by Galatia there. I'm going to guess around 3rd or 4th turnover. It has been very nip and tuck here so far, and the ball's been flowing freely out of bounds instead of in the basket, but it is early on, and I anticipate that will change. Gunner with a good find to Case. Case just muscles it up, and we have a traveling call. I'm not going to say I agree or disagree with that. I just think the bucket should have been good. So I'll leave it at that. So some of the challenges that we were talking about, I was talking with Coach Cruson last night, was you're trying to cram 2 months of prep into about 6 or 7 days here. Yeah. It's just a lot of this stuff is going to be. Nice steal by Case. Case up and we got a 2-point shot. Foul on the play here. That's going to be Noah Fraley with the foul there. His first, team's fourth. Last night, Jerry, I was watching the game, and you could just see Coach Anderton just not overly pleased about a lot of things, but the main thing that really gets in his craw was the defensive rotations were just a step or two slow, and a lot of that was going back to what I alluded to earlier was the six-day off, or 6-day practice rather, instead of the 2 months. He'd probably get the prep in that he wanted. You could just tell.
Right, and
Brandon Steele, great job by Gunner. Good outlet to Pace up for 2, no good. Glacier clears, Fraley clears. Up to Hale. There's a good help by Gunner. Looks like they got him on the reach. Nope, they actually got that on Case. Trevor Hale going to shoot 2 here. 5-4 early, 2:26 to go. I was definitely making sure to say the time that's left, because in the video feed it is definitely tough to see that. And that's what my fiance was telling me at breakfast this morning. She was saying, I just wish that the time, I would like the time. I said, well, I'll make a point to do that, because I always try to do what she says, even though she would argue that. So, up and good. Glacier makes both. It's a pair. They're up 6-5.
Sorry, I am new at this, and I am trying to keep up with the score here.
Cramming crosses the timeline. That kind of take a little bit of air out of the ball, looks like here. Glacier goes to a 2-3 zone. Case drives it, and good. Count the bucket. When you have good senior leaders, it makes you, as a coach, I can speak from coaching for 9 to 10 years on and off, it makes you look good as a coach when the players understand, get the ball to the corner, get it to the middle, I think it's a zone. Case with the old-fashioned 3-point play. It just makes it a lot easier when you have kids that have been in the system a little while. Great pick by Crane, good hustle, outlet to Case, Case up, it's good. Timeout, Glacier.
Now we're getting fired up. We're settling in. It seems like maybe the nerves have calmed down from these kids. I think that they just started out, and like you were saying before, it's this whole year it's been, are we having basketball? Are we having basketball? And they've been up, down, all around, and for a long time it looked like there was no hope for basketball. Right. And then basically overnight, here we are playing basketball.
And you got a year's worth of excitement, and it's gonna has to get all that out.
Right.
And I'm sure Coach in the huddle right here is just saying, hey, just calm down, and we are who we are, and let's settle down and do what we've been taught. And it's just, I could hear Coach Cruzen last night. A lot of times he's telling the kids more or less, where's the fire? Just settle down and good things will happen. It's just so tough when you're just so ready to do anything, when you're excited.
Yep.
Like a kid the night before Christmas. It's just very, very exciting.
That's
especially kids that love it like these kids do.
Okay, so for Samantha, I'm going to say it's 1 minute and 48 seconds left in the first quarter.
There you go. Hale brings the ball across the timeline. Just got to run a little 2-man action when Faley and Hale shoots a 3. No good. Fraley out of bounds on him. That's going to be the key to the Hawks season, is they're just not loaded with size, 6'5", 6'6". So boxing out and keeping their opponent off the boards. One shot is all you get, and then it's going the other way. That's going to be for them. Crane shifts it over. Glacier back in their 2-3 zone. Case to the corner. Good, a little bit late. The ball with the recovery. Good find to Gunner. Case. Oh, just great look there. Great look. Just couldn't find the cap. Hale looking to push. Case has been all over the ball tonight. Hawks cranking it up into a full court man-to-man pressure. Tate just a little bit excited there. That was definitely a turning point in the junior high game last night, and it happens a lot in junior high. We were doing a lot of good things. Kerry Mills slaps on a press, and it just turned the whole outlook of the game. Our kids, we didn't necessarily turn the ball over a ton, just shooting the ball 3 or 4 seconds before we were ready, just excited.
Right.
Because you take all this excitement that they have, and then you put on top of it, we're gonna pressure you 90 foot. I mean, it makes a big difference. Good defense by Gunner. Gunner across the timeline over to Brugger. Brugger with a nice drive. Couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Glacier clears. Oh, looked like he walked. D got it. I don't think it would be fair, but I would love a whistle. So.
Yeah, so that's something new too. So they, since they're wearing masks, they have to use their electronic whistles.
They sound really good though.
Yeah, they really do. Someone had mentioned maybe they'd be a bit delayed, but I haven't noticed
No, I
any
haven't
problems
either.
so
No,
far with
definitely
it.
Gunner doing an excellent job keeping Hale out of the lane, which is obviously really good. Faley and him are going to run a little two-man game. Faley catches there on the ball, looking to get it in the block. Pace. Close to a 5 second, I believe.
You were right.
10 seconds left to go here, guys, in the first quarter. Hawks are going to get one more shot in maybe before the quarter ends, we hope.
Right. See how we can finish out this first quarter.
Crane crosses the timeline. Gunner squares it up for 3. No good. Brugger with the rebound. Good if it goes, no good. After the first, we got 12-6 Hawks. All in all, good quarter. We've got a 5-3 foul count here. Hawks have 3 personal fouls, and Galatia has 5, so 8 total team fouls is a little bit on the high end, but it's to be expected. A lot of reaching early to try to get settled in, but all in all, a good first quarter.
So what I have here is, as you were seeing just now, our cheerleaders are excited to be here as well. So tonight we have 7 cheerleaders: Hannah Daniil, Jalen Ellison, Michaela Gray, Jillian Harmon, Jade Pennington, Isabel Harmon, and Bailey Respondek. And then the next home game will be our other 7 cheerleaders.
Okay, so they're going to alternate games?
They're alternating games. Okay. As you see, something different with them. They don't have their typical cheer uniforms. They decided not to spend money just in case we didn't have the season. So they are in their comfy shorts and cute shirts.
So, I mean, like, I would definitely petition for these from now on, which I have a daughter, so, I obviously have a different feeling about that.
I totally agree with you. I like what they're doing.
I bragged on to the sponsor last night about the junior high. I really liked it. It was kind of a retro look, and I really liked it.
Yes.
I thought it was nice, and they did a really good job as well.
Well, they're kind of in the same boat as these basketball players. Don't know if they're practicing for nothing or not.
That's right, and that's a lot of money that they got to give up, and it's not like a boys' basketball uniform. It's pretty much custom made for them, so 1 year and it's done. So I understand that definitely. Galatia comes out in a 3-2 zone, which you do not see a ton of in high school. The key would be to get this ball to the middle and to the block. Gunner with a 3, no good. Those are shots there when he's right. He Crane with a turnover. Squares up a 3. No good. Outlets to Hale. Hale going the other way. Got fouled. They're going to get Brugger, I believe. If not, Ruthie's just looking at him. Nope, they got him.
Yeah. We have another Lady Hawks update. The score is 6-10. And looks like Mackenzie Russell stole a pass and hit Foster for a layup. So Lady Hawks are off to a decent start in McLeansboro.
They are off to a decent start. McLeansboro has a very solid group up that way. We were talking about that the other day amongst some of the coaches that their girls program the past decade has just been like a benchmark in the 2A community. I mean, they are very, very solid. So that's really good. The coaching them are off to a good start early. Fraley with the rebound, he got it. Quarterback obviously not very happy. You have to box out right there, and that's something he preaches every day. Praying for 3 on the other end, no good. Outlet by Galatia to Faley. Brugger with the rebound. Looks like Gunner's going to want to get it and set something up here. The last couple possessions, I don't think they've been getting the shots they want. That's what a good senior leader does, Jared. I really like a good senior leadership.
That's right. And I think what you were going to say earlier is when Gunner's on,
yes,
he can hit.
I was going to make a comment on that. Him and Crane both advanced to the. We got a 30-second timeout by Coach Etterbeck. They both advanced to this in the state competition as far as the 3-point shootout. I mean, Gunner, I would guess. Me and Coach Lawler were talking a couple weeks ago. I would say for his career, he shoots it at about a 45% clip. And Crane advanced to the semi and missed the going to state by a couple of baskets. So both these guys are very typical in hitting their 30-footers, for sure.
We are in a timeout. We have 6 minutes and 30 seconds left until halftime. Hawks are leading 12-9.
One of the things that really struck me as we come back to play here was that the boys don't go to the locker room anymore, or girls or whatever sport. And Coach Anderton, after 2 minutes, I had to use our blot-out screen for Hawks because he's out there running his offense while the other coach is in the commons. It's just something that you wouldn't see on a normal year. I was like, I don't want to give some other coach some material to, scout by and not make it any easier on him than we already are. So good find to Riley, to Crane, back over to Knott. Knott squares up a 3. That's huge. Big bucket. Book it. Knott, I think, is going to have a great year. I had the honor of coaching him in 8th grade for baseball in the summer and fall, and all it is for him is his confidence. He gets confidence.
Yep.
He's a great kid.
He's a good kid, and he works hard. You can tell how much time
and he's serious about it.
Yep.
Going to get Riley. So I'm going to have to get on to Riley. I picked up a cake from his mom earlier today, and I asked him if he's going to be at the game. He said, I might be there, like he wasn't going to be there. I didn't know if he was dressing or not, and then I look up and he's on the floor. So
there he is.
Of course, I coached Riley also when he was in 7th grade and 8th grade for baseball, so I have some familiarity with these kids.
And Riley has grown about 5 inches since he's been in high school.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that for me when he was in junior high. He was little, and he sprouted up.
He has definitely sprouted up.
Probably one of the most tender-hearted, sweet kids I've ever met. He's just a great kid, which I can say that about all these kids. I mean, I kept catching myself saying that in the junior high game last night. It was man, that's a great kid. That's a great kid. They're all great kids. We got really lucky in that regard. Over to Brugger. Back out to Gunner. Swings it over to Case. Back to Gunner. Not again. Looks high, nothing there. Gunner. Hawks using patience early. I think that's really going to pay off. Case drives it. Kicks it out to Gunner. To Brugger. Case again. Case with a 17-footer. No good. Red ball. If you're quarterback, you have to be pleased with the ball movement. You're moving the ball, the shot doesn't fall. That's basketball in a sense. So shots fall, shots don't fall. Alicia swings it over. You hear the coach yell and run the play. That's usually a good idea. Not with a great rebound. Gets it over to Brugger. Here come the Hawks. They're going to run. Gunner over to Case. Back to Gunner. Great give and go. That's great basketball. That Utterback very pleased. That's definitely what he preaches. Get the ball out in transition. Find the open man. Give and go. Cut to the spot. It's just great basketball. Riley with the rebound. Hawks definitely looking to push here more in the second quarter. Case looking to drive it. Out of bounds. I believe that's going to be a mass break. I am correct. COVID?
They call that a COVID timeout?
COVID timeout.
Really?
I said that to myself. COVID timeout.
Well, that is interesting.
I just always think when these young men are having their kids of their own, they're going to, you know how we had, our parents had the walking 5 miles uphill both ways in the snow,
yeah.
you know, like my dad tells. You know, these kids, when I was your age, we had to play with masks on, and we had to stay 6 foot away from one another, and that's going to be their walking uphill both ways story.
That is exactly right. I actually told the seniors that last year, even though I don't think they wanted to hear it at the time, but I said, at least you will always have a story to tell, living through that, their senior year, and getting so much. I know so much was taken away from them, but they went through some of the most unique times that we've ever seen.
Nobody will ever forget that year.
That's
that year
exactly
will be,
right.
You know, like I graduated in 2007 and no one could give a darn. Yeah. But, you know, they graduated 2020. Oh, you mean you graduated during the pandemic? I mean, people will remember that.
That is right.
So that is just definitely something. Turnover. Hale got the ball, looking to drive here. Fake, give and go, and got it in the bucket. That's going to be an and one. Who did they? Help me out there. They got 25. Who would that be?
Oh, that is Maddox Sandiford.
Okay.
He just came to us this year, actually.
Okay.
Freshman.
Oh, nice. Crane across the timeline. Glacier still in a 3-2 zone. You could argue that it's a 2-3 and they're just bringing their guy up extra high to try to deny that outward pass. Brugger got a lot of contact, stays with it, got the bucket. Jeremy Brugger very active on the offensive boards early. I just love how Galton kind of gets down the defensive stance. Always ready to guard, always ready to defend. That's something that you know Coach Utterback's preaching every day and they're listening to that. Riley with a steal, up to Crane. Hawks looking to push. Pace to Brugger. Great basketball there. Starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm here, I believe. Seems like. Going to stay on this end. That's another thing these coaches have to watch. If you don't like the call and everybody's screaming and you can kind of mumble under your breath as you walk away, you can't do that now.
No,
I mean,
they can hear everything.
They can literally hear you.
Another foul on Riley Rushing. Looks to be his second foul of the night. Team 7.
It's literally 1-1 here. I'll tell you, at this vantage point compared to where we were last night, is I can see the foul count. I had that pole was just wrong to be right for the opposing team's foul count. So the whole night I was like, I believe that's team, and I'd be leaning over and trying to get it, but we got it figured out.
We have shooting here, number 40.
Number 40, that would be Faley. This team definitely driven by Faley and Hale early. Two juniors. They only have one senior on their team, and I don't believe he is active tonight. They have 7 kids active tonight. He's not one of them. Number 40, though, is a junior, and definitely looking to contribute. Crane scores up a 3. Bucket. That's something we were kind of alluding to earlier. It was only a matter of time. The lid was kind of on the rim.
We've been waiting for right there.
That's right. The lid was on the rim early, but it looks like we've got it off.
As you can tell, the Hawks are getting excited. I think they're just happy they're finally starting to get a rhythm, like you said, and get those nerves out and scoring some baskets. So we have a timeout. There is 3 minutes and 12 seconds left until halftime.
So I will be honest with you. I am not real familiar with Brad Vineyard, but I think that he was on the staff last year as an assistant, and this will be his first year for sure. I tell you what, he gets his kids to play hard, and his kids they have some fun, they have some organization, and that's 2 things that you look at when I come to a gym right now. It's hard to judge these kids on a lot of things because, like I keep saying, I know it's like a broken record, but they've had pretty much 6 to 8 practices, and usually they normally would get 30 to 40. So, I mean, the turnovers and maybe some bad shots, that's some stuff, but are your kids in good defensive position? Is the floor space? That's the kind of things I'm looking at, and he's doing those things. So, Galatia definitely has from what I can see, got a coach that's got him headed the right way.
Right, and from what I've heard, I think he was only hired just a few short days ago because they we're kind of waiting to see, I think, where they were headed with the sports.
A lot of
So
small
that is
schools
just
are-
another
yes.
challenge for him and that whole group is
Yes.
they haven't really been coached until recently by him.
Yes, and that's another thing. These small schools are kind of in a pickle. You know, you don't even spend fouled on the 3. We have a foul. Looks like they got Garrett. Now, if you'll look down there, Jerry, at Coach Utterback, you will see the that little bit of steam that's coming out of those ears. That is because you don't never, and I mean never, foul a 3-point shooter ever. And I guarantee he has only said that about, as you can look at his assistant coach, Zach McGuire, who I also coached, by the way. I know that sounds like a current theme too. He is steaming, and he just looked down at Zach, and I heard him. He said, "You don't foul the 3-point shooter." So definitely something you don't do. The first 2 are good.
Well, as you said before, these 2 kids are kind of leading Galatia. And, this would be...
That's 3 for 3. That's impressive. I tell you what.
That's 9 points there.
There was a lid on the free throw shooting, but then the junior high, though, late made 6 of 6 to send it to overtime. That was a big win by them last night. And I got to tell you this funny story. So, Megan Jackson, boy Grant plays on the squad, of course, but Megan's also been my son's teacher. And I was telling her, good job from Grant last night, and he was playing back the highlights. And when I would say something like that was a big boy move, he really liked that. Gunner for 3, he got it. Hawks are 3 of the last 4 from 3, really starting to pick up the pace like we anticipated. Eric York looks like he's seeing his first action tonight. Now he is a junior, correct? I believe so. Over to York. York clears it out to Case. Case up for 2. No good. Joyce Alex. Green with the steal. Great hustle. Great hustle. Oh.
I got a little distracted on my camera work, but York is a sophomore, not a junior,
Sophomore.
so you threw me off.
I coached him also, so I should know that. So my apologies, Mary. Mary's a big fan of mine. She'll be getting on to me. Said, don't make my baby any older than he is. So, I'm kind of going to go back to what looks like a full court man-to-man pressure. That really kind of turned the game around. I thought it got Galatia playing a little bit quicker and then got us into our transition where I think that's where we're going to score a lot of our points. I think Coach Utterback would tell you that, or most coaches would tell you that their team's better in transition than half court. Got to be close to a 10. Nope, a 9.5 maybe. Fraley grabs it. That's a pretty recurring theme. Hale and Fraley touching a lot. Nice drive. No good. Cleared by Gunner. Gunner looking to push over to Crane. Crane drives it. 15-footer. No good. Hayes for the rebound. That's got to be his 5th or 6th rebound. Rebounding the ball really well. They're wanting to set it up and get something good here. Minute 30 to go, guys. 27-18 Hawks. Galatia back in their 3-2 zone. Over to Gunner. Gunner eyed a 3, but thought maybe don't shoot it with a minute 30 to go. Got a foul. Team 6th.
It's a risky pass there.
Yeah. That foul will be on, who do I got here? Yeah, they don't have a 15, D. I think they're going to get that on Hale when it's all.
He is going to retry that, and
I think we're going to get that on Hale when it's all said and done. His 3rd. That's something to keep an eye on. He's definitely coming to. They're not going to let him draw his 4th, I wouldn't think. So he's done for the half here. He had 9 points. He made a big contribution early. Galton will definitely not turn down a layup here, Jared, but they are definitely going to get something they like. Or I guarantee that's what Coach Utterback, just like that right there, bingo.
good play.
That's what so many coaches do, and that's what you talk good veteran coach. A lot of young coaches will say, oh, we want to hold one shot, but there's the whole goal of the game is to put the ball in the basket. Why would you ever turn down a good look? 3 ball by Fraley is good, and that pulls Galatia within 8. Chase up, good punt fake, got it and one. That's going to be on Faley. That's his second, I believe. Team foul number 7, 36.5 seconds to go. It is 2 on Faley. But you knew that, didn't you?
I did know that.
That was some good positive minutes out of Eric York there. He really facilitated the offense nicely. No good on the free throw. Faley with the rebound. He's going to stay in with 2. I find that a little interesting. Hawks cranking up the pressure. Down to, Faley, good save. Gunner, outlet. Crane's filling in nicely. Great pass. Great layup. Hawks were only up 8 and now up, what's that, 12?
That's 12, right?
Mr. Herman would kill me. He's my best friend, and I had trouble with math.
Okay, he's at the Lady Hawks game, so he's not listening. So we got a quick timeout there by Galatia. 11 seconds left on the clock, and I think kind of what you were saying, their 2 biggest scorers of the night, 2 biggest contributors are now in foul trouble, so that's got to be a big hit to them.
Definitely, and definitely game plan coming in, and I think you can, as you can tell by the mannerisms of Coach Etterback, they were wanting to push and they were wanting to be aggressive, but then when they didn't get the aggressive looks, come out, set it up, get a good look, and they've really done that this last 5 minutes. They played a very, very good last 5 minutes, and that I guarantee at halftime, if he has him out here and we get to listen in on that, he will say that last 5 minutes, guys, you did the things that you should have been doing, and I think he knew that would happen. He's got he plays 3 seniors pretty heavily in Case, Crane, and Gunner, and that definitely is part of it. Those guys, a lot of them. Gunner's a 3-year starter. Crane played a lot of minutes last year, so those guys in Case started last year, so they definitely got some guys back that know what to do and how to do it. Down County back in their man-to-man pressure.
11 seconds on the clock. Just a reminder here, we'll see what play they have drawn up to try to score.
Faley, football pass, intercepted. Up to Crane. Great pass, great find, great bucket. Who is that on the score there? That is Noah Richardson. Great Zach Boy. That's Noah Richardson. I cannot tell him without that hair down his shoulders.
He looks so much different.
And believe it or not, I coached him too. So I should definitely know.
That was a great way to finish the half there with that steal and the bucket. That was awesome.
Hawks currently on a 9-0 run, so that is huge.
Okay, now it is halftime, and special guest with us tonight is Mr. Wes Henson, and we're going to let him, he's been over there doing some stats, so I'm going to let him get on here for a minute.
Oh, that sounds great.
Take a little break.
Sounds awesome.
First, he's going to calculate, and then he will get on here and tell us what it's all about. While you're waiting for that, we can watch the cheerleader performance here and see what I think we're going to do the school song.
Okay, at halftime, here's a few stats for us. For Galatia, first of all, they are 6 for 18 from the field, 1 for 5 from the three-point line. Leading is Noah Faley with 10 points, 1 of which is a three-pointer. Trevor Hale, 9 points, 7 of those were free throws. Zane Carlisle with 2 points. They have 9 rebounds and 3 steals. For the Hawks, we are 14 of 34 from the field. Again, 12 steals. We have 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Leading is Case Reister with 14 points. Gunnar Wilson with 7. Garrett Crane with 5. Jeremy Berger 2. Jackson Knott with a three-pointer. And Noah Richardson with 4 points.
Really good three.
All right, we're back.
So we got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go before we get back underway.
So I have a fun fact.
Go ahead.
The Galatia coach, Mr. Vineyard, is Miss Bowman's brother-in-law.
No kidding. Small
Know
world.
that?
No, I did not.
Also, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Okay, so you were a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every coach kind of has their thing that they do that when they're frustrated or upset. Like some people stomp their foot, some people throw a jacket or hit a chair. I would say Mr. Utterback's is probably pacing.
Yeah.
He paces a lot. So what was yours?
So I wore a tie a lot. And of course, Coach Anderton and me would agree to before the season we would wear a tie. And when my boys would do something really frustrating, it felt like that my tie was on fire. It just like around my neck was on fire. So I would start loosening my tie. And as I got more heated, my tie just kept loosening until the point where if I got so frustrated, it would just be the knot would be all the way down to my abdomen. I mean, I would just be over it.
Yeah.
And then the state final or the state semifinal one time with Seth Ramsey's group of 8th graders, which I was 22, and when you get older, things don't upset you as much as they do. 22, everything's life ending. So I took my tie off and actually threw it a row deep, and it hit my mom, of course. And during the timeout, she goes, "Do you think that was really necessary?" I was like, "No, Mom, it probably wasn't." So
That's awesome. So yours was the tie.
yeah, mine was a tie.
See, someone did an impression of you the other day, and you were like down on your knees. You do that too?
Yeah, I would do that. I do that one, and my other one is the I turn around and slap my hands real hard, like if I don't want to do it towards the kids or anything, but no, you have to love it in order to do it, and if you're not passionate about it, first thing is I always said that kids are the biggest lie detectors in the world. A kid will look through an imposter just as quick as anybody. They should all be kids up until they're 18 should be detectives.
Right.
They can smell a phony from a mile away. So if you're not on the level or above where they are, then they're going to see right through you. So and that's the thing with Coach Utterback. You can tell he's very high octane. You can tell he loves it. He's excited about it, and the kids feed off that. You can see how these kids are playing. They definitely are excited and they're feeding off of his enthusiasm. And, you know, he preaches team. I got to coach with Coach Utterback in junior high basketball, and he's just a big team guy. So, looks like Hale's going to come back in here in the second half here and play with 3 fouls. That'll be something to monitor. Him and Faley are both in a little bit of foul trouble for high school level. Good took away by Knott. Knott got away with the carry, but we're going to go with it. Up for 2, no good. Gunner with a follow, no good. Out to Brugger, back to Case. Utterback wanting the E-break, but he's not going to get it, but we're going to get a bucket by Crane.
I think that was because everybody was distracted there.
That was no, good shot. We had one of those last night, too. So, one of those, he's not going to take away the 2 points, but he wanted them to set something up there. Down County really cranked up the defense, and that started around the 6-minute mark in the second quarter. Hale hooked up an NBA 3, no good. Pace the rebound up to Gunner. Gunner looking outlet to Crane, to Gunner, to Crane, to Case. No good, not with a great rebound. That's going to be before the shot, yep.
That was a great offensive rebound by Knott there. I'm loving the energy from our bench too, and I don't know that people can see this on the camera, but
Got him. Crane for 3. Great bucket.
But our bench can't really be a bench now. It has to be spread out and separated, but our kids are bringing a lot of energy tonight, which is great.
Utterback, very, very excited. Jackson. Mason is his older brother, isn't he?
That is correct.
Yep. So Jackson Knott he did everything right on the defensive end, and then right when the kid crossed it over, he reaches in and Utterback jumping up frantically saying, "Don't reach." It's like doing everything right on your test, getting 100 and not putting your name on it. I mean, it's absolutely disheartening as a coach. He got away with the travel. Hale squares up. If he shoots that, the Lakers are definitely calling. They're going to push off on Hale. It looks like to me, if so, that is 4. That is what the call is. Vineyard not very happy camper, and I do not blame him.
That is tough.
Once again, a coach, I don't know if I could do it. Coach has to be very reserved here because you can't even mumble. You got to be kidding me because everybody in the gym will hear it. So, if the crowd was kind of reacting over here and stomping, then you kind of blend. But with no crowd, definitely something changed. Crane scores up another 3. Got it. He's really settled in nicely here this second half. Tate applying a little bit of 3-quarter pressure. Faley wants the ball. Faley drives it, kicks to the corner, squares up a 2. No good. Wright with the rebound. That's a nice move by Wright. We're going to get Case with a bump. So Case is not one of the kids that I had the pleasure of coaching. Tell me a little bit about Case.
Well, Case, up until this year, I thought was very quiet. I've learned a lot more about him this year, though, and he doesn't seem to be as quiet as I thought he was. He's a great kid, though. All of these seniors are fantastic, and actually all the kids on the team are fantastic kids and just really playing well together tonight, too.
Henson going to get his first action of the night. Checks in for Brugger. Going to give him a breather. Gunner with the rebound. Gunner swings it over to Crane. Crane feeling it right now. He's wanting the ball in his hands. Shoots a 13-footer, no good. Going to get it over back on somebody. I believe it's Crane. It was Crane. You've heard the saying, right? 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's another coach's thing. You take a maybe ill-advised shot and then you foul 90 foot from the bucket.
Right.
Kind of like after the Cal's already got out of the gate, you shut it after he's already left. It's a really good thought, but it just really doesn't amount to a whole lot of much. Faley for 3, squares it up, got it. He's really comfortable shooting that shot for a taller kid, isn't he? I've got to compliment the camera work tonight. It's been flawless compared to last night. It was not. And with this speed, there's no way I could have done that two shot.
Yes, it is difficult. Even with 2 people, it's still a little difficult, honestly, because you kind of get wrapped up in the moment.
What happens is, you're definitely watching. She makes a layup here. Great defense by Gunner. Got it to go anyway. That's a very difficult shot. Gunner looking to push here. Case 15 foot out to Henson. Henson back to Case. Case for 2. Got it. Great ball movement. Great look by Henson. Good find.
I just want to mention here that Case Reister has 16 points in tonight's game. I mean, that's fantastic for him.
It is great.
He's having a great night.
He's definitely going to be looked upon because we know Gunner and Crane are definitely going to. Another 3 by Faley. He's heating up. They're definitely going to get theirs, and they're going to have a third guy. They're going to do some things this season, and Case is going to be looked on to do that. Duvall squares one up. No good. They're going to get Case over the back, I believe. We were talking about patience on the offensive end earlier and rhythm, and I think if you could hear Coach Utterback really stressing that no shot clock in high school, so we're no need to just rush it, getting a good look, but we have another COVID timeout.
Look, I just realized we're still in the first period here, so I'm going to try to figure out how to change that.
I absolutely noticed that when I was watching it last night, and absolutely did not notice it until I got home, though. Period, right there, we got it.
There we go. So we will update that. We have 4 minutes left here in the third period. How about that? Now we're on track.
I had a buddy that I graduated high school with, and he commented, and he doesn't have a cousin, nephew, brother, pen pal, nobody at the in the school. And he tuned into the game last night because he heard that Gallatin County had a feed. Matt Drone was his name, and I told him, I was like, it was shaky, but I tried the best I could. And he said, just think about this. Gallatin County has a live feed with a couple people telling their names of the players and stuff. He said, that's cool. He said, I don't have a kid or nobody on the team. He said, I'm going to tune in. He said, that was fun. to watch. So this is really good, and our tech team deserves a lot of credit because this is.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to give a shout out tonight to Lindsay Adams, who I'm sure a lot of people listening know, but she is kind of our tech guru teacher. And I kind of pitched an idea to her, and she ran with it, and has gotten us set up.
Yeah, I mean, just the technology. This is high tech. I mean,
And I also give a shout out to Rob Holloway for giving us this internet speed, because I think that also helps. So we just have a great team of people that have come together to put this on for our boys and for the community that can't be here to watch, because I know so many of them enjoy. And as you were talking, I was thinking about some people might be tuning in just because, you know, there's just not much to do right now.
Definitely.
So what else would you do besides sit at home and put YouTube on your big TV and watch a Hawks basketball game?
And kind of like when I alluded to when your first year here too, is like, you know, these people love Gallatin County basketball. I mean, you know, this community, I mean, let's face it, we don't have a stoplight in the community. We don't have a fast food place in the community. I mean, basketball is the community.
Right.
And a lot of people are going to take advantage of this, and I think it's great. And I want to also give a thank you to Lindsay for all of the work she does, because there goes countless hours in here that go unnoticed, but definitely not underappreciated in all this work.
That's right.
The ball down to Noah. I got his name right, but I do not notice him with the hair. Riley heads up play. That is Riley rushing one-on-one right there. Him and his brother inherited that trait off of somebody. I will not say who, but she knows who she is. He puts his nose in everything. And I love that kid. And I love kids that do that. And you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. You can't teach a kid to put his nose in somebody else's business. Praying for three.
Well, you know, the person you're referring to is watching this feed
Oh,
right now.
I never.
So just wait.
But she'll message me. I expect it, and she definitely won't mind telling me how she felt about it, one way or the other. So, but no, Riley, once again, great kid.
Back to the whole community thing. I remember I grew up. I don't tell a whole lot of people this, but I did grow up in El Dorado.
Yeah,
and I remember.
Praying with a 2. Oh, nice bucket.
Anyway, I remember even in high school being so impressed with the following of Gallatin County basketball. At the holiday tournament every year was just a sea of orange and blue every game, no matter if they were ranked first or last, it didn't matter.
8:30 game, 11
up.
o'clock game, yeah, I know.
People showed up, and I always admired that about Gallatin County.
But yes, definitely. And I think, Jared, that's one of the things that I've missed the most this year was the EHT. So many of my friends and family even come home over the holiday break, and we would all meet up at the EHT. And just hopefully we get that next year, because these kids aren't getting to do that, and that's a shame. And I just hope that many more kids don't have to miss out on it, because that's a great thing.
That was a great deflection there by Tate Duvall.
Yes.
He's such a hard player, so full of energy, and I just love it. And you see him clapping off the floor, and he definitely brings excitement to the bench when he's on the bench, and he hypes other people up, and I love seeing that energy from him.
Him and his brother followed similar paths to getting some time for Hawks basketball. Both, if you'll drive down, they live 3 blocks from me, and you drive down there in the summer, and Tate will be shooting, and the blacktop will be bubbling. It is so warm, and he's out there shooting. And Trevor was the same way. His brother's a Gallatin County alum. They absolutely work at it, and I'll be honest with you, that is a little bit of a lost art anymore. You know, even when I was before, you know, I tried to explain to my daughter that we didn't have cell phones when I was her age. We had to ride our bikes around and find each other, you know, and on the ball court was where we most of the time met up. But just watching those two work has just been really nice, and it really just shows you that as a young player, that if you have a goal and you work at it, that you might not be the exact goal, you might not get the exact result that you were going for, but you may get a piece of the result that you were going for.
That's
so
right.
I'm really happy for Tate. Of course, Noah is my neighbor as well, and the stuff he's done to me and Coach Lawler's home we won't get into on the broadcast, but all in good fun. Noah, speaking of the devil, gets in the action. Up to Crane Crane looking to push. Missed the three. I don't know who they
I
got there.
believe they're going to call that on tape. Good ball.
Very good eyes. Got it on tape.
You know, but when he held up his finger, he held up 21. Did you see that? He did. So that is the third foul on Tate Duvall.
Definitely that excitement we talk about might be translating into some early fouls. Definitely for him. And that's something that he's going to learn as the time goes on, is you've got to channel that excitement in a good way. You know, if you're overly excited, you're going to be overly sitting down pretty quickly if you're not doing the right things. So Riley over to Tate, back to Gunner. Gunner really been facilitating the offense tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Really trying to get some of these younger guys involved, trying to get their confidence. That just shows you a good senior leader and a guy that wants to win. He doesn't have to have 40 to feel like he's accomplished his job. He wants his team to have more points, and that's what you want as a kid. Fraley throws up a three. No good, Riley. A lot of contact there. Squares up another three. Got it. Galatia shoots the threes in bunches. Tate crosses the timeline here. Over to Gunner. Gunner. Who's 40?
That is Nick Mack.
Nick Mack. Okay. Nick Mack. Over to Case. Case, extra pass over to Gunner. Gunner to the middle to Riley. Back to Tate. Nice passing by Jim. Great give and go. Great job. Riley with the cleanup. That's good basketball. I know he missed a layup. That's just great basketball.
That was great job by Riley being ready for that too. Put that. The Hawks did not get back on defense there.
No, and Coach Utterback with a little bit of adjusting of the mass. Definitely not what he had in mind. 42 seconds to go, though. 51-35 Hawks. Gallup County looks like they're pretty content with taking it into the fourth quarter with the lead, and I don't blame them. Galatia's coach is going to make a matchup man-to-man, so maybe they might see the ball back. Now, see, that right there was Tate with a little bit of hot sauce without the mayo. He definitely had the $1 million move, and then just the finish just wasn't quite there. That was on a video game, and I can't even believe I said it. When I went back and listened to it, it's like, how did I remember that? And 12, up to Case. Case can look to drive it. No good. 7 seconds to go. Fraley's going to look to push all the way over to right. Right. You're going to get a bump.
Well, as you said, I don't know if the video could hear that, but Coach Utterback was not too pleased with that call.
Nope. And like we alluded to, the problem with that is D knows exactly where that came from. But he was very. These referees, if you talk to him, like Brett Oxford, that's got the ball right now, he's coached a lot, and he'll tell you he's going to let the coach be emotional as long as he's doing it in a respectful way. I mean, right. Coach Utterback's just trying to motivate his guys, and he's just got passion. Five-second call. That's a quick 5, and we'll take it though. 2.2.
2.2 on the clock.
Throws it up to Case. Case got time for a dribble and a shot. He double-dribbled anyway. At the end of 3 here, we have 51-35 Hawks. So I know he'll go back and watch this later. I gotta say, Zach McGuire's looking very dapper tonight. His nickname in 7th grade was Cat Fancy because he always was the best dressed out of the group. We would do a pizza party or something at the end of the year for the boys, and Zach was always the last one out of the house because he had to make sure it was all.
He had to make sure everything was perfect.
Yes.
I'm not surprised there, but he, last year we had Lisa Coons to.
Yes, that would have been the dapper pair there.
We were the best dressed coaching team.
They're in the state.
Oh, for
It-
sure.
it's
And
just-
so I
there's no-
think Zach felt that the pressure from Lisa last year and the pressure from Mr. Utterback.
And he might have got some pointers too, you know. I mean, but no, Zach, what an asset to the program he is. Brings that big, vibrant youth that you really want and need, you know, because this, kind of like Wyatt Earp said, times are changing, and you got to have young guys in the system to learn from your veterans. Just like in basketball, freshmen learn from seniors. Zach's learning, and hopefully he's the next big piece for Gallatin County because he's got the pedigree. So I'm really excited for him.
He does. He's a great guy and a great asset to our team. Like you said, he works so well with the kids.
My daughter
so
loves him.
Respectful
My daughter loves him.
Motivating, and just really an overall great guy.
There's a steal by Case. Tell you what, his defense and his, you touched on it with the points that he's put in the bucket tonight. Really, really a great game for him so far. Down to Riley, over to Case. Case back out to Tate, back to Riley. Good pass, but he walked with it.
Some substitutions here. Noah Richardson back in. Garrett Crane back in.
It will literally take me 2 or 3 games to get him back to where.
Did he have the long hair in junior high?
No, we had a haircut rule, and he didn't do it in the off season either. So no, this is new. Glacier drives it. Looking out, Fraley. If Glacier gonna mount come back, Faley and Hale gotta get it going. Down to right, up, and good. That was a good move.
That was a great move.
Crane crosses the timeline, up the Case. Utterback would rather have good looks, quantity over quality. Quality over quantity, my apologies. He definitely wants good shots, and that's what he's telling Zach right there. I guarantee you, he said to Coach McGuire, I want good looks here. I guarantee it. We have a turnover on Galatia. That's something here in the last 3 minutes Gallatin wasn't doing a ton of, is turning it over. And they've gotten a little bit sloppy, but sloppiness is kind of like poison ivy and stuff. It's contagious and it spreads. If a team is turning it over a lot, sometimes you have a tendency to turn it over too. And I don't know why that is, but it's true. If you have a team that's playing crisp and sharp, you tend to play crisp and sharp too. It's just really weird. Gallatin County definitely now working it around, trying to get a good look here. Kind of what we alluded to earlier. Down to Riley. Back, nice pass to Noah.
Great pass by Riley rushing there. And a great basket by Noah Richardson.
Riley has Hale for 30 foot good.
Great shot by Hale.
Glacier will just not go away. Cut it to 13 with 5:55 to go. There's what I wanted to see. Gunner for 3, no good. That's okay. If you're Coach Utterback, you want Gunner to take that shot. That's a good shot in the flow of the offense. Glacier drives it. Good steal by Crane. Look at Riley running the floor. Hopefully it pays for him. Crane's going to take it himself. Chop. Do you know anybody else that would do the boom notification when they had the charge? You don't know anybody? You don't know anybody that would do that, do you?
Oh, I do not know anybody that would do that.
My favorite call of all time. Even if it was against us, still liked it.
The Jeff Betcho charge.
Yeah, we got 3-1 with a charge. Boom. I love it.
Do you know how many people have said that to me?
Absolutely, I guarantee you. Hale with a quick bucket here, and all of a sudden, Coach Utterback looking up with a little over 5 to go, and the lead's been cut to 11 here. This is pretty common, I would say, for a team fresh off of not playing for a year or something. Get up by 17 or 18 and forget to do the things that kept you up 17 or 18. That's just coaching 14 to 18-year-old kids. Really coaching any kind of kids, junior high and high school. It's just you have the tendency to we have such great kids that we had a coach that would say kick them until they're down and then kick them because they're down. And a lot of times we have kids that we have such great and nice kids. It's like, okay, let's win, but I don't want to make anybody look bad per se. And that's a lot of times the coach will say it ain't over till it's over, and
Right.
it's tough. Gunner crosses the timeline here. Riley pump fake. Good bucket. That's a big bucket. Coach Coach Utterbeck was pretty excited about a layup and should be, because that stops a 6-0 Glacier run, and that's what you have to do to runs. You have to stop them immediately. Hale's going to try to take this game over. Riley, long rebound, long. Great. Looks over to Gunner. Down to Case. Case for two. No good. Cleared out by Glacier. Looks like they're working Hale off the ball a little bit more, try to keep him from drawing that 5th foul. Good steal by Gunner. Gunner up for two. Got it. Hale with a little bit too much fancy there. Almost lost the handle, but he got it back. Faley and Hale run the little two-man game. Drives it for two. Got it. That's a tough shot. That's good defense. I would probably say that we're going to start running the offense and rotating it 3 or 4 passes and then looking. Just like that right there. Good look, Riley.
Great job by Riley there to finish it off. Like you said, they were patient and it paid off. So.
Yep, and it's just a cliche. The kids will roll their eyes at you when you tell them, you got to be patient, got to be patient. That's one of the rare occasions in sports that usually they get the second guy, and they got the first guy on that one. He reached, and then the kid pushed off, and they got the first guy. That doesn't happen all that often.
That foul was on Maddox Sandifer. That's his 2nd foul. Team 8.
So it looks like Glacier will be in the bonus the rest of the way, the 1-1. So I think we'll come right out of this mass timeout and it'll be a 1-1, I believe.
Should be.
I'll tell you, I feel for these officials even more so than I normally do. For one thing, I'm not sure there's a check you could write me to make me official, but that's just my personal. I have utmost respect for all they do, and I know you do too, of course. But that mask would be just a wow.
It would be, but someone said something to me the other day that made me think, yeah, that's right. There's no fans yelling at them.
That's what I have.
So that actually might make up for it all because they don't have anybody yelling at them.
I have a buddy that's getting into officiating, and Robbie Belford, and he said I'm nervous because I haven't done it in a few years. I was like, man, you got the dream gig here, no fans.
That's right.
And it's like this is a referee and coach's dream.
I used to sit in the stands when my dad would ref.
Oh my gosh.
Cringe at the people yelling and.
It and community service is 2 things that everybody should have to do before they're critical, in my opinion.
Agree.
In my opinion.
All right, who do we have here?
This is Hale with the 1-1, and he makes it. He's quietly got 14 here. Had a big second half. Hawks did a really good job keeping him contained early, but he's made a couple threes, and this will be his 7th point in this half. Looking for 8 here, and he got it. Lead back down to 13 here. Look for Gallatin County to look layup here because they got good drive, good 12-footer, good move. Riley with the rebound for 3. No good. Wright with the rebound. Out to Hale. Their coach said, we got to go, and I tend to agree. Gonna run a little 2-man game here. Step back. No good. Good rebound by Gunner. Good find. Noah with the 2. That's just the definition of a great senior play. Passes up a pretty good look for a automatic look, and that's great. Hale for 3. Great defense by Riley. He made that happen.
Galatia was not too happy with that call there.
I understand that because I don't believe that kid airballed that ball that bad, but we are definitely not going to complain. Riley with some good defense. Out to Noah, into Riley. Good kick. Sizes up a 3. No good. Gunner hustling hard. Galatia back the other way. Galatia out to Fraley. He's going to shoot that for sure. Now that was an air ball. or a pass,
Maybe it was a pass.
depending on what fan base you're rooting for. There, that was maybe just a pass.
We'll call it a pass and good for 2 points.
Yeah, all goes in the scorebook the same. Looks like an assist with a layup in the scorebook. So got under 2 minutes left. Hawks leading 61-48. Case of the drive, no good. Hale with the rebound. Glacier got to go. Galton didn't stop ball. Even you hear young Zach McGuire yelling, "Got to stop ball." That's taught at a very young age. Would love to see Gunner come get this ball here, and with a minute and a half, there we go. That's exactly what I was hoping for here. That's what you want a senior to do. Go to the top, give me the ball, and let's dance. Let's dance this thing out. Great discipline, no hurry. That's a lonely island out there for a freshman to catch that ball out there. That is the loneliest place in the world for a freshman.
You know, and we actually have 2 freshmen out there right now for us, Maddox Sanford and Noah Richardson.
Definitely. That is the loneliest place. That is 5 on Hale, and that will be the end for him. A pretty impressive night. Ended the game with 16 points. He did a lot of good things tonight.
He did. He was very impressive, and that hurts. This is the final minute for them, not having him in the game.
That's Galatia's 15th foul here. Gunner could see that's the difference right there. If a freshman catches that ball there, he may think it's a good time to square up a 30-footer. Gunner saying, all right, 50 seconds left. Let's put this thing in the cooler and hit the locker, or not the locker room anymore, hit the bleachers. Case for 2, got it. That's going to be the icing on the cake. Coach Utterback all smiles under that mask, I'm sure. You put all that, whether we're going to play, not going to play, and the work paid off. The 6 days, pretty much like a little mini boot camp. They're going to get right for the foul there. Galatia not in the bonus yet. Next foul put them there. But all that work that they put in, and are we having a season, are we not, and just to get the kids out there and get a win, that feels good. I bet that big weight's being lifted off his shoulders. I know it would be for me, because a lot of people think that, the coaches want to win. The coaches want the kids to do good. The players play the game. The coaches coach it. That was always my biggest thing. I got fortunate enough that Seth Ramsey absolutely piggybacked me to state in junior high, and he said, "What's your biggest goal, coach? You want to go up there and win?" I said, "No, I just want my kids to go up there and compete in a great way and represent the school well. You don't want your kids to go out there and not do the best that they can." So.
Okay, we have a timeout here. We're going to get our other senior, Nathan Sisko, in the game for these last 17 seconds. So I'm excited for him to get to see the floor. He was pretty pumped up at school today that basketball was back on. So I'm happy to see him get some time in.
Right.
I honestly think that Coach Vineyard should be proud of the effort that these boys have put in for just starting and not even having open gyms. And
absolutely, for 3 days of practice, what it sounds like to me. I mean, he's got some building stuff there. Absolutely, Hale and Faley. At the end of the year, he gets some practice reps in. They're going to be fine. They're going to do a lot of things good. I really like what he's done, and he should be proud. And his kids played hard. Praying with the bucket. 10 seconds to go, and that's going to be a Galton County winner, folks. Fraley eyes up one more. Doesn't get it. That's a winner. Galton County improves to 1-0. When's our next game?
Our next game. When's our next game, Wes? Wes is working on stats, so he will be with us shortly.
Give us a brief second here, and I'll get you when the next game is, because I have a picture of it somewhere.
The Lady Hawks, I did not hear how the final ended up there in Hamilton County. I do know that they travel to Galatia tomorrow.
That game starts at 1?
I think so. Our junior high is playing tomorrow as well in Galatia at 10 a.m., I believe.
Yep, that is correct.
So we will be back here.
February 9th is on a Tuesday, and that's our next game, and we are at Thompsonville. Varsity only will be the boys' next game. And the girls, you alluded to it, Varsity only Galatia, they're at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So definitely some exciting stuff going on.
hang around here. We'll get you the final stats of the game, and we appreciate you guys watching and hope that you enjoyed. I know that it's not the same as being here, but we appreciate your support for our kids in the program.
Have a safe weekend, guys.
Thanks, Bryce.
No problem.
Are you ready? Okay. That's all right.
And for the second half staffs, for the Bearcats, they had 7 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 4 for 11 from the three-point line, 4 for 6 from the charity stripe. They had 3 steals, 5 for 14 for field goals. Leading was 16 points for Noah Faley. Trevor Hale also had 16. There was 5 points for Clayton Wright, 4 for Zane Carlisle, 2 for Andre Williams, and 3 for Trey Thatcher. And for the Hawks, second half, we had 6 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 2 for 7 from the three-point line, 3 for 4 from the charity stripe, 4 steals, 14 for 25 in the second half, 28 for 69 for the total. Hawks shooting percentage was much improved for the second half. Scores: Case Reister with 22 points. Garrett Crane with 9, I believe. Riley Rushing came in strong in the second half with 6. Noah Richardson also with 6 points. Gunnar Wilson with, I believe, 11. Once again, for the opening, Hawks looked very well tonight for the few practices they had. I thought they controlled the ball very well. Only got sloppy for a little bit in the third quarter. Turnovers were very good. And good game for Coach Utterback.